Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Joyce Anyanwu. Today I brought to you a politics news on Arise News, where Mrs. Adesuwa will be chatting with Mr. Ikechukwu. According to what PDP, they are calling on APC to be transparent on 27 billion naira, that has been given, that used to be, they used to give to ex-presidents. Yes, all the ex-presidents that have been in Nigeria, mostly, they have been getting 27 billion naira every year. Is it every year or every month? Anyway, I don't really know. So let's just listen on what Mr. Ikechukwu will be telling us about this money. If it is right for them to continue getting this money, or if it is wrong, then we will come back. Please drop your own opinion in the comment section. Then we will come back and speak our own mind. Thank you very much.
Three major opposition parties have disputed the massive 27 billion naira voted by the federal government for the entitlements of past presidents, vice presidents, heads of state, chiefs of staff, retired heads of service, and professors in the 2025 budget. This allocation has benefited previous presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammad Buhari, as well as former vice presidents Atiku Abubakar, Namadi Sambo, and Professor Yemi Osinbajo. While others who are projected to gain include former military heads of state, General Yakubu Gowon, retired, as well as General Abdusalami Abubakar, retired, and the former military president Ibrahim Babangida, as well as retired Chief of General Staff Commodore Ibitu Ukwiwe. Well, let's have a conversation around this matter with Dr. Ikechukwu, Public Communications and Business Strategy Consultant. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas.
I wish I could say.
Yes, so the opposition has called for greater transparency in this money that has been budgeted in 2025 appropriation. But let me ask you, do you think that this level of spending is justified for past presidents, past heads of state, chiefs of staff, and all the others on the list? Is it justifiable?
That could be a matter of perspective at two different levels. What's the practice globally with leaders? American presidents are addressed as presidents when they leave office. The same applies all over the world. So somebody might raise the question, why should you return the title when you're no longer in office? Mm-hmm. And also, it's the practice globally to have some kind of provision to maintain the modern aristocracy, if you like. Once you've held office, you become a reference, you're not allowed to drop to a certain level of material discomfort. So when PDP is calling for transparency, I don't know what they mean, mm-hmm. because if an amount has been stipulated and those who are to get it are stated, I thought one of the questions perhaps some people might raise is, okay, you recall that some governors became senators after serving as governors, and were receiving the entitlements they approved for themselves while still being governors.
Yes.
I would think, or I should think that part of the worry would revolve around the question of whether a former military head of state, for instance, who is getting his full entitlements as a general or a retired general, a lieutenant general or major general, whether that should also go simultaneously along with entitlement as president. I thought they would raise the questions of governance propriety. Yes, many of the coups that occurred in this country were really, some of them out of genuine concern, depending on the people's understanding of what they thought was good for the nation. But the other question has also arisen. Somebody who took over headship of the nation without consultation and at gunpoint, should he be entitled to things like that? I think those are some of the ethical issues we might raise. But the provision extending the list, if indeed it turns out that I, a former general, am not receiving entitlements as a general, but I'm receiving entitlements as a former head of state, no matter how I became that, one can easily live with that. Mm. But if you match both, it will present something that people will always find disconcerting. That you're having those two entitlements And there's also the subliminal awareness, whether we admit it or not, that all the people mentioned, all the names mentioned, all the officers are extremely wealthy people, whether true or not. And without questions raised about their source of wealth before they, just because they were public officers. So I don't know whether that's a very wonderful thing to put in front burner at this time.
Indeed, because, you're right. I was just looking up, in the United States, there is an act, the former President's Act of 1958, which allows some form of entitlement to former presidents of the United States. But when you look at our climb, although we say we copy the democracy of America, shouldn't seeking elective office be a voluntary act of service? When you look at millions of Nigerians grappling with food insecurity, inflation, crumbling healthcare system, you begin to wonder why we are budgeting such huge amount of money to this category of people. Should we be looking for a policy overhaul or put a cap on the amount we give to them?
You see, when we approach it like that, it will seem as if we're trying to convince ourselves that there are clear paradigms about anything today in the nation. There are none. Some governors approved all kinds of things for themselves, and they're aware of it. A house of 200 million in Abuja, another one in state capital, new vehicles every 4 months, a gardener, all of that, and some for his wife. Because they have the existing capacity, laws were made and passed in connivance with the National Assembly, with the Assembly, by a clique that felt the need to protect their interests. But speaking objectively on the matter of entitlements, in my place they say that the loins, the waist of somebody who had grown old enough to cover himself should not be allowed to be seen naked in the village square. So if somebody has held a certain position, even in order to maintain the, if you like, the social control associated with that office, you don't allow a former visible, highly visible person who held public responsibility to drop to a certain level. But you also know that, you also have noted that people who have also held that responsibility, who are very mature, do not take the title as something you see them enter buses and all of that, but doesn't remove that level of comfort. So my take is that first, there are international precedents. Second, if you look at that amount of money, convert it to dollars. It doesn't mean anything whatsoever. If anything, it's a major loss. Like people are talking about the budget. I had some commentators saying the budget was too much. Now, at the time the naira was 9 naira to the dollar, what would be the equivalent of 200-something billion or 1 trillion, etc. So whereas we are spending less in substantive terms, we're under the illusion we are spending more, whether in education or the rest of it. Well, coming around to this matter of, okay, can anything be done? First, there's global hardship, economic hardship. One of the most hidden nations as we speak and the most indebted is the US. So there's hunger in the land. When people advance an argument like this based on the fact that some people are hungry, I become a little mischievous by saying there will always be hungry people.
Okay.
But that's different from saying become insensitive. I find it a little difficult to move to the step of saying, oh, this is an insensitive gesture. Those are some of the paradigms. That's why it's a bit difficult, you see, and that's why I think PDP, I may be mistaken, I may not be perceiving their position on this matter correctly. I think PDP should occasionally miss an opportunity to say something so that what it will say will be somewhat richer.
So silence is golden.
No, well, golden, but pick an issue, be somewhat detailed about it. Don't let it be, oh, recorded, we'll post this. Imagine that they took this thing, gave a detailed analysis. This is what the government has budgeted for this number of people. This is why we think they are not entitled to it. There's not even an argument. It's just the fact of having mentioned it. So it could be tidier than what they are presenting. And I'm not surprised that there hasn't been too much of a response to it. But the issue, which for me must remain on the front burner, is that there's a lot of poverty, hunger, and insecurity in the land. People have been trampled to death because they are struggling for rice. And the issue is, somebody had also said it's because there's my telephone, they are calling them, those who shouldn't come eventually came. But the point is this: if you and I get a phone call to come and share something, and we have no need for it, we won't go anywhere.
Indeed, that's a valid fact.
We shouldn't paper that down. So yeah, that's the thing about the angle from the PDP.
And finally, I mean, just let me ask you, do you think that the government itself should also be providing some clarity to these budgeted monies? Because over the years, we've heard how our budgeting process has been shrouded either in secrecy or so many controversies. Is it a matter of the lawmakers or the executive itself or the people should know what the monies are budgeted for and how they are being spent? I mean, should this be making the headline?
It's important that whatever money is budgeted, we should know what is budgeted for. But going beyond that, being told what is budgeted for is not the same thing as saying that it will be spent on it. And I'll give an example I've had to give in the past. Usually when we talk about budget scrutiny, issues of transparency and the rest of it, the attention is on capital expenditure most of the time, rarely on recurrent. And that's why you have agencies that will have close to, assuming they are, just hypothetically, assuming their monthly salary bill ought to be 200 million, you find that they are spending 380 million for people that don't exist, and they cost across practically every ministry and agency.
Famous ghost workers?
Ghost workers invented by those who manage the system. That's on one side. On another side, you have the detailed budget you've gone to defend. Nobody looks at your recurrent. Okay, here is a ministry that has put, say, 300 million for diesel to maintain the generator.
Yes.
And the agency doesn't have a functioning generator, and nobody. So a lot is under the table.
Okay.
It becomes the norm, and to that extent, a lot of things are difficult to control. But the final note on that is, the call for transparency is important. People monitoring is important. The content of the budget, for those who are activists, who wait until a budget comes out, then they start screaming and won't allow anybody to sleep.
Yeah.
They should do some more work. Preemptive engagement, before the thing becomes public, you have a position on it. Don't just isolate things and scream, but each thing you isolate and scream about, give a detailed suggestion on what to replace it, and also possibly implementation strategies for replacement. Then activism and opposition become part of national development.
Very well said, and that's a good place to anchor this conversation. Thank you so much, Dr. Ikechukwu, Public Communications and Business Strategy.
Welcome back to my channel. Oh. Hey, APC and PDP always giving themselves. My people, these two parties, I want to just ask a question. Is there any difference? I look at these two parties like the two container with the same content. That is how I look at this party, this PDP. Since they are not the ones in power, not that I'm supporting APC, but I just want to make a point here. Since they are not the ones in power, they always bring out everything possible to blaspheme this very APC. Yes, although what they said is really, really okay for APC to be transparent on everything they do. And for this budget of 27 billion allocated to the head of state, vice president, presidents, all these things. Okay, now we have seen it, and let's just react on what Mr. Ikechukwu said. He's telling us that, for those people to be in that position and they leave office, so for them to continue to maintain their lifestyle, so he is supporting, if I understood this man very well, that he is supporting that money, that 27 billion, he's supporting that they did like Tinubu did in budget to be given to all these ones. So my question that I want to ask right now, first of all, when they were in office, they were getting salaries. Yes. So this money now that they make budget for them, they were getting salaries, they were getting what did they call allowances. God. They were getting allowances. So by the time they are out of government, so does this mean they don't pay them pension? This money, this 27 billion, is it like their pension or what? Because I know that every year they give them money. They still, is it every year of every month, so they still pay them. They even once in a year they still give them money to buy cars, to maintain, do one thing or people that they are out of office. So for me, according to the journalists that ask question, that in this time of economic that things are so hard, things as people are dying of hunger, is it necessary for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to to put in his budget 27 billion to be given to the ex-presidents, ex-head of state, vice president? Is it necessary? So Mr. Ikechukwu now said, yeah, for their position, they need to keep on maintaining. They need to keep on maintaining that position, that their lifestyle. But my question goes to this like this. I have seen a lot of civil servants that have worked in Nigeria, served Nigeria, at the end to even pay them their pension. To even pay them their pension is always problem. Let's talk of Abia State. When did Alex Oti came to clear 8 years or how many years? 8 years pension. Somebody that has worked, has served Nigeria, and he retires for 8 good years, no pension. So how will that kind of person fit take care of his children? Then talk of now the head of state, them, the ex-president, upon they have been paying them every month. They now still, Tinubu is still making budget that they have to be the 27 billion to give to them, to pay them for what? Why? When they were there, we know 100% Nigeria, they have been stealing money, doing all kind of mago inside that government. So now they are telling us that Bola is telling us now that he has to pay them 27 billion. Anyway, my beautiful people, you people have watched this video. I don't even know what to say again. Nigeria, we are just tired. We don't even know what to say. So I don't know why the masses, the poor masses are crying. The poor masses are crying because they want to go and collect just few cups of rice. They have, a lot of people have buy more than the one that we really know. We don't know the one that they did not register. The one we know now, we have been hearing that is 70 people that has buy so far. Just what? Just because they want to go and collect food. They want to go and eat. It doesn't, because of hunger. You people don't know what is hunger. Hunger. My father used to say, hunger made a farmer to put fire to all his yam barn. Yes. Just because they want to go and collect some few cups of rice, a lot of people buy. Then Bola is telling us that, Tinubu is telling us that it was poor organization. That is why it happened, but is making budget of 27 billion. 27 billion to people that have stolen money very, very well. They are still giving them, which means they will give them until they buy before. Even say continue giving them. We have seen a lot of army officers that buy during the way they go to save Nigeria. Their family are still crying. The children, they are on the street begging for food. Government don't see those things. They don't even care. For people that have stolen money, people that they have stolen until their Agbada and Sokoto don't even have space anymore. They are still making budget for them. My people, where are we going to? With this country ever good? With this country, they say they are imitating America. Does it mean, why are they imitating America democracy? And they are not doing what America are doing. People in America are not crying of hunger. People in America, they are not buying because they want to go and collect food. There is a lot of jobs there for people to do. People are working. A lot of employment, a lot of what am I going to even talk? A lot of employment. They are creating jobs opportunity for people. They pay them well. Why can't Nigeria, since people are imitating America, why can't you people imitate America in everything? Why can't you people imitate America for everything, so that we will have peace, so that we'll be happy, so that we'll be happy? Why can't you people be transparent in everything you people are doing? APC. Anyway, I don't know what to say, because PDP are attacking APC. APC are giving blame to PDP. APC say you people rule this country for 16 years. So it's where you spoil this country, that is where we pick up. PDP is saying that, yeah, you people have destroyed this country. You have to do this. Two of them, they are just always dragging themselves. Anyway, my beautiful people, I don't have much to say in this video. Please, if you have anything to say, drop in the comment section. Just speak your mind. Say it the way it is, the way Mr. Ikechukwu has said. He said he don't know why PDP is dragging APC. So in some part is supporting APC, while some part is still, I don't know. So my beautiful, thank you very much if you have watched to this time. Please like this video, share. Please share and like. Yes, and if you know you have been watching, you have not yet subscribed, do me a favor by subscribing. Thank you very, very much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye for now.